Trey, Coach Self, just a little bit ago, talked about it being an ugly win. Did you feel that way?
Man, most definitely. I couldn't get a bucket to go in the first half. The teams, we couldn't get rebounds to bounce back for us. But I feel like I would take this win over a 20-point dub just because we had to battle, we had to grind for our first game. We had to make the other team miss for a couple stretches. And I feel like that's our identity anyway. Whenever we're not making shots, we make the other team miss. And that's how we keep ourselves in the game. So we did a good job of that tonight.
And when you guys, I also asked Coach about, you guys having those spurts where energy seems like it wasn't there. What was his message, when you guys did come off the floor?
Don't play soft. Just trying to just keep us motivated. His whole message every time is just stick to our principles. They're going to break eventually. Sometimes we'll waver from it. He'll try to get us back on line, but just trying to stick to our principles, play fast, be the toughest players on the court, and that was it.
When the shots aren't falling early, what are you telling yourself in that moment?
Get it different ways. I feel like I can get my hands on some passing lane steals, some rebounds and pushes, some backdoor cuts, and then just stuff like that. I feel like versatility is my strength, and when my shots aren't falling, I just got to get to it different ways.
And so much talk has been about the floor. What were your thoughts about playing on it tonight?
Definitely had more give. It was like more softer. It wasn't as hard of a landing, so that was good on that end. I would say it was a little bit slippery, and sometimes in the timeout, it would just be different colors. It would kind of catch my eye. It was just a difference, but it was like a normal floor. It was just a little bit more slippery. I don't know if it's because it's just more workers working on it and stuff like that, but besides that, it was a normal court.
Yeah, and I believe the Big 12 is supposed to change out the floor to more regular hardwood. Your thoughts either way?
I was thinking they should just, since everybody played the game regularly, I think we should just keep it the same. Yeah. Just because teams been trying to practice with that and get their mind right. Of course it's a regular court, so we'll be able to adjust. But I say just keep it. It's different. Bring eyes to the Big 12, and I say just keep it.
Appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
Yeah. Bill Self earlier talked about being an ugly win. Just want to get your thoughts on having that ugly win better than a pretty loss.
Yeah, most definitely. It definitely was an ugly one, but it's March, so we're gonna get team's best shot. We can't back down, but most definitely it was an ugly one.
Yeah, and it seemed like I also asked him about just the spurts you guys had, like a kind of a lack of energy. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, most definitely, and it started with me. I take that blame because I start with the energy and stuff like that, and I was in my head sometimes when I was missing easy shots that I usually make. But yeah.
Sure. And what's your message to kind of get the guys back on the right track?
It's gonna be energy. Start with me tomorrow, and we're gonna be back on track.
And you guys, of course, played on this first time playing on this court. What are your thoughts about it?
I mean, it was good for the most part. It was just, it was just different. It would feel different.
Yeah. I asked a couple guys because the Big 12 is supposed to be changing it back to regular hardwood. Do you have any thoughts either way?
Oh, not really. We got to play.
Yeah. Man, you guys play Houston tomorrow. Let's talk about getting ready to prepare to play them.
Yeah, we just got to be mentally physical ready and be the tougher team, share the ball, and just get a good night rest.
Appreciate you, brother. Yep. I asked Coach Self about it seemed like you guys had some up and downs with the lacks of energy, man. Did you feel that way?
I say that. Just, I don't know, 8:30 game. It's easy to kind of fall back, especially when they're making shots and we're missing shots. It's easy for energy to get down, but I'm just glad we come out with the win.
You feel like it's kind of on your shoulders to pick the team up and get them going?
Definitely as a guard, you always got to try to bring energy as much as possible, but I lean more on the older guys. Me and BT are the youngest out of the starters, so we kind of lean on them, but we got to be better as well.
DP, I asked you before the season, you talk about blocking out the noise and not being on social media. How much had that helped you throughout this season?
A lot. Like I said, there was some stuff people were saying that was far from the truth, so it's easy to let that stuff get in your head and change the way you plan or change the way you look at life, but I didn't let it.